Yeah, we are a large research consortium, and this is out of 2 projects, so also a colleague from the environment agencies here. And today's presentation is about different types of infrastructure projects. So you see here, some of them are contributing somehow to sustainable development, and some are even contradictory, and all of them, they have a very long lifespan. And you see here, infrastructure can last a long time in place, and also from the conceptualization until the operation, there are often many, many years and many planning activities. So also climate change is supposed to have consequences on a very long-term perspective, and what to do with climate change. So now in this infrastructure planning, what the cartoon suggests most probably is not what we can do, so not just wait or see whether it's just not there anymore later on. And that's also not the direction of the European Union, because there is a mandatory regulation. Also, climate change adaptation became mandatory by a regulation which came 2016, and also climate change mitigation is already a topic in Austria regarding environmental impact assessment. So far, it has not much been considered, both topics, and with regard to the project, we have topics which cause impacts on the infrastructure itself, or also on the operation of the projects. And all these topics also refer to the long-term economic sustainability, but also the ecological sustainability is a huge topic, because many impacts of these projects, they might become more and more cautious for the environment. So some species have changing areas where they live, or also health issues are becoming more relevant. And we have this huge variety of, on the one hand, like ecologists and consultants who cope with the change also of the environment and impact, and then on the other hand, those who are planning, and in between, those who are commissioning finally the projects. And we tried to involve all of them in this discussion, which lasted over years with 2 projects. And first we asked them, why do you hesitate to think more about climate change adaptation and mitigation? So often uncertainties and lack of data was mentioned, as it is with all climate change related topics somehow. And also, in like 4 years ago, this lack of awareness of these topics. We said, okay, legally binding requirements, they are now in place. We saw this EU directive, improved data availability somehow, and we tried to focus on this guidance topic and also on this awareness raising for all of these actors involved. We tried to encourage them also to co-work on these topics, and also to discuss this more and more in depth with different levels of interaction, and finally also to elaborate a project. So first we tried to see what are topics with whom they are already concerned, so like heavy rainfall or large-scale storms or drought. These are already topics for both the planners, also the consultants which deal with the environment. All of them, they are already concerned with these events in the present. And when we look at the environment, so the ecological sustainability, we see that some types of environment, they are more concerned by these meteorological events, so as forest or soil or surface water, like for example by erosion. And we had this as a starting point to discuss, okay, this is the current situation, already some topics which relate to climate change, they are part of your of the EIA and the infrastructure planning, and what new topics might be relevant in the future over this long lifespan. And to help to get free a bit of these obstacles and challenges, we had this view in the future, so we were like 20 years ahead and looking back, and successfully adapted, so this was the task, climate change topics in EIA. And the outcome was then a joint, just like a platform and a directory which would guide you through analyzing a bit more and finding out how could the projects be affected, what could be the most important impacts for the environment surrounding these projects, and what are specific topics related, for example, to the area like mountainous topography or the proximity to water, surface water. And through all this, it's already an approach how to facilitate and also to get data in a way which is really linked to these topics, which is suitable for large-scale infrastructure planning. Yeah, this was addressed in practice, but of course also we tried to communicate in the scientific world, and these are 3 publications which are already published, and we also try to publish in German, so this is in review currently. Yeah, what was the most important issues was this more or less consensus that at the long-term effects for these very long-lasting infrastructure projects, it is necessary to look at climate change impacts, and only scenarios or some adaptive approaches can help us because there needs to be a lot of flexibility on the long term. Yeah, thank you very much.